Hey guys, welcome to Jeannie's Dishes. Today we are going to do shepherd's pie. I don't know if you guys have ever had that. Basically, what's in it is ground beef with a bunch of really good ingredients and mashed potatoes and corn. And then you bake it, you kind of pile it like, layer it like a lasagna, and then stick it in the oven, let it all cook and kind of get all nice and cooked and yummy, and it's really good. So I'm going to show you guys that. And then I'm going to show you guys what I got to help with my vlog. So let me show you that real quick. I got this. It is a USB microphone that'll help with like voiceovers and stuff like that. I just got it today. I haven't even unboxed it yet. So I want to do that with you guys real quick. So let's see. See what we can see. If I can open it. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's on top. It actually all comes off. Hang on one second. This whole thing. Oh. It's a little stand and the USB cord and the book. So this is like a little tripod for it. That's cute. So it kind of goes like that, right? Like that. And we got the USB cord that plugs in from the mic to the computer. And then we have our directions on how to hook it up. And I think there's some different settings that go with it. And then the actual microphone is in here. Let's see. Goodness, they don't make it easy. It was like a purple box. And there it is. It's like a big ball. Very cool. And then underneath here is where it goes into the tripod. And then back here is where you plug it in. And then it's got a few different settings. I've got to figure out where that is. I'll find out in a minute. Alright, it is all hooked up, and that's what it looks like. Very cool. So here we are. We're going to start with a half an onion. I'm going to chop it finely. We have ground beef, about 2 pounds, Worcestershire sauce, salt and pepper, and some tomato paste. So I put a little bit of butter and olive oil melting in the pan. And what we're going to do is we are going to saute the onions for about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, medium heat, medium high heat. I'm boiling about 2 pounds of potatoes here. So now what we're going to do is brown about 2 pounds of ground beef. And with that, we are going to add some salt and pepper to season. And this is the same pan the onions were sauteing in. So what I did was just add the beef to the onions that were already cooked. And I'm going to mix that all around after we season the beef. So with that, we are going to put in 2 heaping tablespoons of tomato paste, about 2 to 3, eyeball it. Some Worcestershire sauce, maybe a couple of teaspoons of that. And again, I'm just kind of eyeballing that. It's going to add some great flavor to the beef. And then you want to mix that around. And then after that, we are going to be adding it's supposed to be beef broth, but I didn't have any, so I'm substituting it with some chicken stock. Again, maybe a couple of splashes of it. This is going to keep the meat moist. And you're going to mix that all together and incorporate all those great flavors. And again, you want to heat the meat through and make sure it's all brown and cooked well. Here I have a half a bag of frozen corn mixed in. So with the potatoes that are done and drained, I'm going to add some sour cream, about a small container, about a couple splashes of milk or cream, salt and pepper, and a couple of pads of butter. So what I did was I drained the potatoes, I put it back into the same pot, and I'm going to splash some milk in. You want to be careful not to put too much in. You can always add it later if it's still a little dry. Then we're going to season it with some salt and pepper. Then we're going to put, like I said, about, I don't know, 2 or 3 pieces of butter, maybe 4, depending, how much you like butter. Then we're going to add the container of sour cream, and it just adds a lot of richness to the potatoes. And then I have an immersion blender here that I am going to be mixing my potatoes in. And if you don't have this, you can definitely use a hand mixer, a potato masher, whatever you have on hand that's easiest for you to mix potatoes. And certainly if you have your own mashed potato recipe, you can definitely use that too. I'm just kind of giving you guys a idea of what I do. Maybe you can add it to your recipe, or maybe it'll give you some ideas, or even for someone who has never made mashed potatoes before, this is basically how it's done. So you want to make sure this is all mixed in really, really well. Once you mix it, blend it well. You want to taste it. Make sure the seasoning's right, if it needs more butter, or maybe a little bit more milk if it's a little dry. But always taste the potatoes after you're done mixing it. And then this way you can modify it as you need to. If it's done, then just set it aside. Okay, so I have a baking pan here. I filled in half of it with the meat mixture and the corn mixture, and the other half is with the mashed potatoes. And basically what you want to do is kind of smooth it out, make sure it's reaching all the edges, all the corners, and yeah, just make sure it's nice and smooth. And depending on the pan you want to use, I mean, there's the square, casserole glass pans you can use. Or if you have more people you're feeding, you can definitely use a larger one like this one. It'll make for great leftovers as well. Okay, so this is out of the oven. It was in a 400-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. You want to take it out and let it sit for about 10 minutes. It's all set.